theme that's going on here right now. Like I got into these guys. I was just really wrapping up with Darkseid from DC. He's obviously a great representation of like darkness as complete domination. Like this is the ultimate tyrant king, Darkseid, and it leaves an indelible mark upon how we see darkness. His first entry, and like I said, every one of these guys kind of perceives darkness or represents darkness in a different kind of way, right? So we're gonna go on. Let me get. I just want to make sure I got my notes here. Right, we're gonna go on to this next guy here, and I'm telling you right now, this is where it's appropriate to be afraid of stuff, right? When we're talking about these guys right here, these dark deities, it is appropriate to be about it, right? These guys are 100% about it. So I'm gonna get these images out of here. Dark Seed again was this is the planet Apocalypse, which itself is a terrifying spot, and this guy's just a death spot, right? Primary opposer of the new gods. But we're right into it. The next up on the list, actually, you can see it here, is Null. And this is literally the god of the abyss, right? Like from Marvel Comics, and another really interesting character. Now, this character has been around since 2018. So this is a pretty new character. This is a being who represents himself, the primordial void. He is living darkness. His symbols are these dragon-like symbiotes. He's seen as this pale god wielding a blade of darkness. So this guy's no jokes at all, right? Like this guy's been out there. He's seen as an ancient god, and his backstory is that this deity actually existed before the universe itself. So he ruled the endless void until the emergence of light during the birth of the cosmos. He was angered by creation, right? He was so mad at creation that he wanted to end creation. That's where he really was coming from. Like that you talk about being anti to us. You can't be more anti to everything if you hate very existence. So you see like two levels of it already, right? We saw Darkseid where he like I want to enslave everybody, right? Null is I hate you all and I don't want you to exist anymore, right? And that's a big difference. Now they're moving at different scales. Obviously, Darkseid is already a planetary threat. Like he completely controls a planetary. I mean, he'll control a region, but I believe he would go planet to planet. Like that's how he's going. Null is more of a cosmic being. He existed before any of the universe, so he is technically outside the universe. Angered by creation, he wants to restore the original darkness. That's not necessarily an unheard of story. Like that actually sounds extremely similar to Apep. I mean, strikingly similar to Apep. His story seems like it's Apep's story. Apep was also in creation before time existed, and he also wants it to end. And I believe that also kind of fits Tiamat. Like Tiamat, well, it was the noise for Tiamat. So all there are other creatures in mythology who have wanted to end existence or specifically mankind before this deity. But no is this interpretation, and this is Marvel Comics. And Marvel Comics, they don't necessarily do really dark characters all that great, but I think they do a great job with this character. He represents his primordial darkness. His powers include the creation of this symbiote. He is cosmic immortality. He is reality warping darkness. He is necro world creation. So he's on a grander and larger scale, but he kind of fits into this Omo. When I compare him to both Apep and Tiamat, those are two very clear examples to me of what he actually represents. And it doesn't go far away, right? With these guys, like basically Apep represents chaos. He exists outside the created order established by Ra. So every night he wants to devour the sun, destroy the cosmic order, just turn reality into nothing. That's his sole mission in life. That's what makes him happy. Is just the idea that this won't exist tomorrow. So every single day he gets up and does exactly the same thing, right? Like every day I'm trying to wipe out existence. What are we gonna do today, Pinky? Well, I'm trying to wipe out existence. Okay. So I'm telling you guys some important stuff here. I'm telling you right now, you got to pay attention. I am talking to you. That's me talking directly to you about the dangers of this darkness if we allow it to run out of control. That's why it constantly has to be checked, right? So this is where we are with this dark deity, and what he wants to spread is simply himself. Like that's kind of where they're all about. So he functions as this being who he can create symbiotes. He can create. This is where Venom comes from. This is why this is prime for the Venom story. Venom, Carnage, all these are the symbiotes. Those are the creations of Null, right? And that's why it's important, right? We have to remember. Let me see if I can find an image. I know it can of Venom, right? So Venom, Carnage, they were all species that were designed to spread out, and then we find out like Venom isn't even the baddest one. Like among them, Venom's kind of soft, right? Like relatively speaking. Like I wouldn't talk shit to Venom if he was right here, but overall, when comparing him to the others, like Venom is not that dude, right? Like seriously, oh man, the image doesn't work. Let me try and grab another one for you guys here, because I just want to throw this up there so we could kind of talk about Venom a little bit more. And this goes way back. So this is all birthed out of course, Spider-Man lore, right? This is a very important part of Spider-Man lore, the Venom story, which we go way back to. Man, that goes all the way back to Marvel Secret Wars. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb, guys. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now. Okay, I'm gonna put myself to a test. I'm gonna expose myself and show you guys vulnerability. I believe that this story goes back to Secret Worlds number 8. That's where I think this goes back to. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna see if I'm actually correct in the year and the comic book in which this. Why are you not? What is going on with you? Let me see. Okay. All right, you're not. Okay, you're just doing whatever. Okay, that's fine. I'll do whatever too. I'll do whatever, just like you're doing whatever. So I moved you over here. I'm gonna do whatever now too. So I think I'm right now. I can't remember the year. Let me see if I can find this before I even start gloating, because I'm pretty sure I'm right, right? Because I remember this story. Let's see. Eight. Secret Wars 8, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Spidey in his suit. Let's see. And I had this thing. I kept this longer than most of the other comic books I kept. And I rock this series. Like I wish I got a collector's edition of this one. And the fact that I'm saying that means I didn't. But it was a great read. Like, look, you got to enjoy the stuff that you have. It was a great read. I enjoyed the experience of that comic book, and that's it. This is where it comes from. Secret Wars number 8. I don't know how far back this was. I guess that doesn't matter as much. This is probably, I want to say what year was that? Man, do I even want to venture out to guess? Let me pull up a window here because I do want to venture a guess. I'm gonna guess this is like 86. I'm guessing this is like 86, like the year that this one actually comes out. And let's see if I'm right. Let me see if I'm right. Why do I never have a window? Okay, now I've got one here. Okay. Just gonna check this out. Okay. I have none of the right windows where there should be. What year did the Secret Wars series come out? I'm looking specifically when number 8 came out, the one with the Spider-Man's new suit. So 1984. I think I said 85, right? I think I said 85. It was 1984. So that's going back in the day. And I remember that, right? And then the suit becomes Venom 4 years later. So that's a whole adventure under itself. But this is where Null comes from. So as terrifying as Venom was, and the suit again, he's not even the worst of what comes out of that world. Like not even slightly. You get Venom, like we immediately see Carnage, and when Carnage comes in, we're already like, oh man, Carnage is way worse than Venom. In the movie, there's a scene where they get ready to fight, and Venom's like, oh no, we always lose to the red ones. That's how bad he is. So these all comes from Null's living darkness. And I believe he sends them first as extensions of his own will. They kind of break away. That's the thing with Venom, is some of these guys actually kind of go rogue in that matter. So this is a guy who comes from the abysmal void. This is very key to the mythology. He existed before stars and galaxies formed. When celestial beings began shaping the universe, he waged war against them. He didn't want them to build the universe, so he went at them. He killed a celestial using this weapon, the all black neck sword, necro sword. This is going to be a very important implement as well. Let me see if I can find some information on this, because I know someone else uses it. Who else will? Okay, tell me about the power of the sword and who else wields this sword. This will be some important stuff. So this is the Necro Sword. Let me see if I can find a picture of the Necro Sword, because I think this is the same sword that Gore, the God Slayer. Yeah, the all. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Give me this image right here. Maybe not that one. Okay, this will work right here. This is a very powerful sword. Gore, the God user, God Slayer, uses this to body several gods. Like, he goes on an utter melee, right? A literal melee of carnage is what he goes on, and that's kind of what they're all about, right? Is that maximum kind of carnage. Necro sword. Come here, Necro sword. Okay, this is the Necro sword. I think that's Gore. Or is that Null? I guess that's Null holding his own sword. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. Why wouldn't he be the one holding his own sword? This sword, if I can get back over here, this sword, okay, this originated in the unit before the universe formed. Null were the darkness, the cosmic guides. He made a weapon. He made this weapon. This a blade made from symbiote matter. So whatever Venom is, he makes it from them. It is capable of killing gods. It is able to shape shift itself and grow larger with violence. He decapitated a celestial with this. I think that's the one that ends up on Earth. I think that was the problem with why Earth went sideways. And that severed head later became the world of nowhere, where we see that in the movie. So when you watch like the Thor, it's Avengers. I think it was like Avengers Endgame when Thor and Rocket go. They ended up in nowhere. He's with and it's already destroyed. I think Thanos had already been there. So it was destroyed. So that's the celestial head that he severed. So you're all welcome, anybody who lived there or worked in that severed head for a while. So that's who he is. So he has a god tier abilities, a god killing weapon. It can kill immortals. It can pierce divine durability. It can cut through celestial beings. And it was made for this so it became welded by the god butcher later. So it is literally the same symbiotic organism that came from, that Venom and Carnage actually comes from. This is near immortality. This blade, it heals its host, keeps them alive for thousands of years, slows aging dramatically. This is why Gore lives across millennia. The other constraints, it can create shadow constructions. This is just a blade, which are blades, tendrils, monsters, wings, and armor, all made from living darkness. So living darkness, man, it's no joke. Like, I'm telling you, at the level at which these guys are wielding this living darkness, man, you better really, really stay on point. So we know that in addition to Null, this will be wielded by God. At one point, Thor wielded the sword during a battle against Gore. And the thing about this sword is you have to be able to resist its temptation. This thing is worse than even like Frodo's ring. Like, in terms of like capacity to overwhelm you, this thing's at the top of the list, right? This is really what it is. It forms a bond with the host, just like the symbiotes do. And this is what it does. It feeds on your rage, pain, hatred of gods. That's what it does with Gore. And slowly over time, it warps your mind. It increases cruelty. It drains your life, host the entire time. So that's where the important part about this blade. We need to remember this is one of the few. There are few weapons in Marvel's universe that are actually more important or more dangerous than this weapon. Now back to Null himself. His influence spreads through the symbiote hive mind. So they're all the symbiotes are all connected to each other, right? Let's see if I can pull up the symbiote world. Symbiote world Marvel. See, there's an image there. Yeah, it's mad chaos. It's mad chaos. But this is a great image if I can pull this one down here. There we go. There we go. So this is like, it's probably not Venom, but one of the homies that looks just like Venom. It's probably not Venom though. So don't be like, hey, Venom. It's probably not him. But good enough that we can understand what's going on, how this world looks and operates. And all these symbiotes, they're of high vine, so they're all connected to him. As they gain their freedom, you see their independence really starts to waver. Like they become more independent the further away that they get from him. So that's a dangerous thing. If you're the symbiotic control, if you're the control factor, if you're null, obviously it's something that you don't want to happen. So you're always concerned with whether people, they're gonna go out. They were made to be part of you to go out and do your bidding. So what he represents, like theologically, is the void before existence, cosmic resentment towards creation, darkness as the original state of reality. So from first there was darkness, and then forth comes light. Right? That's the whole thing. Let's see. Mythic context. He's linked obviously to some of the oldest celestials, the creation of the universe. So he's well cemented. He is like Marvel's version of what is the primordial chaos archetype. Darkness before creation, cosmic nihilism, the fear that existence itself is unnatural. They're not unnatural, right? None of what they're doing is unnatural, but we're all unnatural for just wanting to live. That's ultimately how he sees it. So we can't get away. We can't really get away from what he wants to do. The way he puts it down, he'll take this world too. That's why all the symbiotes are over here, man. They're like, yeah, we're gonna come get this world too. He sends them forth. You see, like their relationship with the Were, like Eddie or Peter, they take over. They absolutely are here to take over. They are an almost irresistible force that we really have to be conscious of. Like, no, I don't know who's worse. I don't know who I believe is actually worse. Right? It could be. I'm gonna go with no. I'm just gonna say like because that's an interesting. Like he has an army. He's using the symbiotes. Darkseid is using the parademons. So who knows? I think it's an interesting conversation to figure out like who actually would if these two civilizations were actually going to at each other, right? So that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. But this is a higher, more cosmic scale of it's a higher, more cosmic scale of like darkness, how darkness spreads, how darkness, the whole idea of darkness spreading around. Like this is kind of where it gets a little bit more insidious, right? Yeah, absolutely. And this is how people feel funny about it, man. We talk about it, man. Yeah, yeah. Darkness is, right? They get really upset with darkness is for spreading darkness around. Like you're not supposed to wanna do that. So this is Null, obviously like an OG. He's kind of cemented. You've been in Marvel Comics throughout timelines for a long time. Obviously that main connection coming in through, of course, Spider-Man, one of the most significant characters in Marvel. And that's why we're still talking about you right now. Like the whole series that introduced it was actually great. It really was. All right, this is another one. This is another Marvel guy here. This is Dormammu. Now, this is a cosmic entity who's been around. Man, this is deep into Marvel tales. I'm gonna pull this one up here because this is important. It's important because this is real like history of Marvel. When we look at this guy here, let me see, let me get on Google. I hate using Bing. I never like to use Bing for image searches. All right, let me put this one right here. And this goes way back. This is old school. This is before my time. Like I'm old school, and is this the right one? Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, yeah, this is it right here. This is a good one here. You guys gonna? This is really really old school. This goes back to I think it's 1964. Strange Tales, and this is what it looks like. You can see like he's here. That's the way they start him up. But the Human Torch and the Thing, pawns of the deadly duo. So this is where these guys were at, and this is what they were dealing with right here. Another good historical comic book. So let's keep it rolling with Demorma. And this is the guy that we've seen him on a cosmic level attempt to take over the world. This is another Stan Lee creation. He's dark magic. He's dimensional conquest. He's the flaming head of mystic energy, like a common symbol, right? We've seen this. This firehead cosmic entity is a pure mystic power. He channels ambient mystic energy. He rules the mystic realm known as the Dark Dimension. So you were 100% all about that life. He's one of the most powerful magical beings in the Marvel Universe. He represents mystical domination, reality manipulation, dimensional energy control, immortality within the dark, dimensions, and vast magical knowledge. Unlike other dominators or conquerors, he expands to rule by absorbing entire realities into his dimension. So he's not going to destroy you. You're going to get absorbed. Now, he commands a lot of mystical followers, dark dimension sorcerers, interdimensional cults. His sister and his rival Umar are all, at times, we click up and we do things together. We do hood rat stuff together. So he's frequently attempted to invade Earth's dimension, and the invasions are repeatedly stopped by who? Doctor Strange, the guy we owe a lot of debt to, and some of the defenders of reality. But this is the real famous story of him, Doctor Doom facing this guy down and getting the best of him. So culturally, this is a cosmic kind of sorcerer tyrant, right? Like he is that. He's got all this forbidden magic, dark powers, dark magic, absolute, imminent force. And we've seen him play out on the Marvel screen for years. Like typically I've seen him associated with Doctor Strange. And every time you went up against Strange, it was truly a problem. Like this guy had all kinds of issues when it came to just getting along with other people. So that kind of gets us to the end of the triad here. We talked about these three incredible dark forces here, right? Who we know darkness is spreading everyone, right? There we go. Darkness is spreading, and it spreads through these three. These are the dominions of darkness. So I'm going to dip, but I'll be back later to do another stream for you guys. I'm going to put together a nice triad. But leave your comments, your expectations, things you like to see in the